Even though Etoro is not very popular for trading and investing into cryptocurrencies, with the recent news when Binance didn't get approved by FCA, Etoro may become more and more popular for crypto investors, especially because since recently, just a couple of weeks ago, Etoro has introduced new stats that are available now on the platform, and you can see these stats for each crypto coin. These stats are supposed to help you to take a decision on whether this coin is the one that you want to invest in or not, and some of the stats can also help you predict the actual price movement. But what the stats mean, how to read them and how to use them in your favor, not everyone knows. So this video will be useful for those people who want to see which stats are available on Etoro, what each one of them mean, and how to use them. We will also look at the stats for two different coins and compare them, and I hope that after watching this video the whole topic of cryptocurrencies will become clearer and easier to understand for you. If you get anything out of this video, please don't forget to click the like button. Okay, so let's start. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anastasia. On this channel I talk about investing and especially investing for beginners. This video will be about Etoro and cryptocurrencies. At the same time, I invest into both. I use Etoro for copy trading mainly and Binance and Coinbase for cryptocurrencies. But since recently Etoro has introduced the new feature, so now you can invest into cryptocurrencies through Etoro too. The fees are not that high, and the huge advantage is that you can also use copy trade feature and copy portfolio feature if you want to invest into cryptocurrencies through Etoro. And only last week they introduced new stats, so now you can see 7 different stats when you open the individual page of each coin. So let's dive into it a little bit deeper and look at the actual stats that you can see. So let's start with the market cap. The market cap is the number of all the coins that are available at the market right now multiplied by the current price of each coin. For example, if there are 1000 coins available on the market and the price of each coin is $10, then you can say that the market cap for this particular coin would be $10,000. Generally speaking, the bigger the market cap, the bigger the coin is, so it is more established and it is more trustworthy, because that means that the more money was invested into this coin, more people or institutions decided to put their money into this particular coin. The coin number one by the market cap is Bitcoin. If we look at the market cap of Bitcoin today, it is $626 billion, but this figure is going to change from day to day because the price of each Bitcoin changes, and also the number of coins available on the market change every day too, because more and more coins are getting mined. Let's compare the market cap of Bitcoin to a smaller coin called NEO, and the market cap of NEO is $2.44 billion, so you can see the difference. The next stat that we are going to talk about is circulating supply. Cryptocurrencies are different to fiat currencies. It's not like dollars or pounds that can get printed at any point whenever the economical situation is difficult, like for example what our governments did in 2020 when the pandemic started. With cryptocurrencies it is different because there is only a certain amount, a certain number of coins that will ever be available, and the smaller this amount is, the higher the demand will be, therefore the higher the potential price will be too. For example, with Bitcoin we know that there will be only 21 million Bitcoins ever available on the planet, and the circulating supply stats shows us how many coins in percentage, how many coins are available already, how many coins were already mined. So in case with Bitcoin we can see that 89% of Bitcoin are already circulating on the market, so they are already available. This gives us an idea that only 11% of Bitcoin are there to be mined in the future, which is the main reason of why mining Bitcoin is not so popular nowadays, because miners say it's getting more and more difficult because obviously there are less and less Bitcoins that haven't been mined yet. In case of NEO, only 71% of all the NEO coins that will ever be available are already mined, so the number of the coins that haven't been mined yet is bigger, is about 30%, which is not a surprise because NEO is a relatively new coin, especially when we compare it to Bitcoin. From this stat, we can review the fully diluted market cap stat, because these two stats, they are connected to each other. So the fully diluted market cap shows us how much the market cap would be for this coin if all the coins that will ever be available on the planet were available right now. So in case of Bitcoin, if not 89% but 100% of Bitcoin were available, so if the circulating supply was 100% and not 89%, then the market cap, going by the current price of each Bitcoin, would be 700 billion. With NEO, if all 100% of coins were available right now, then the market cap would be $3.4 billion. You can use this stat to understand how big a potential this coin has already used or will have in the future. You can also find the potentially undervalued coins by looking at the fully diluted market cap stat. The volume stat, on the other hand, shows you how big a volume, so how many Bitcoins or how many NEO coins or any other coins were traded in the last 24 hours. The problem of cryptocurrencies and using the volume stat for cryptocurrencies is that it is different from normal stocks and shares, because they are decentralized, which essentially means that not just one platform allows you to buy and sell Bitcoin. There are many different platforms that allow you to do so, and Binance, by the way, is number one platform in the world by volume. So if you want to rely on this stat, Binance would be your best shot, because it will show you the most relevant information. When it comes to Etoro, the numbers, the volumes of cryptocurrencies that are traded on Etoro are not that high, and usually it's day traders that use this stat in order to predict the price movement of the particular coin. Because usually what happens, not always, but just usually, if on one day the volume was high, this means that this is probably the beginning of the swing and the price will have an upward trend for several days. So then you obviously want to join in, you want to invest and ride a swing, as swing traders say. I myself don't trade cryptocurrency because I realize this is just the theory and it doesn't always work like that. Otherwise it would be too easy, right? Like everyone would do that. But what happens is each platform that shows you this stat can show you the stat that is relevant only to this particular platform. So in other words, on Etoro, in the last 24 hours, the volume of Bitcoin that was traded was 38 billion and the volume of NEO was $376 million. And here we move on to the next stat, which is volume divided by the market cap. And here this stat is important because it shows you how popular this particular platform is for trading a certain coin. So in case of Bitcoin, we see that the volume divided by the market cap is only 6%. So only 6% of the total volume was traded on Etoro in the last 24 hours. The 94% was traded somewhere else. So in order to use this stat to predict the price movement of Bitcoin, you cannot really use Etoro because you can rely only on 6% of Bitcoin, which is nothing. This number should be bigger. The bigger, the better. Let's check NEO, and NEO is 15%. So 15% of NEO was traded on Etoro. The next stat is the market rank. It basically shows you how stable and how popular this particular coin is. Bitcoin is of course number one, so out of all the coins that are available on the market, and we know that new coins are appearing all the time, but Bitcoin is still number one, whilst NEO's rank is 37, which is not that bad considering that there are more than 200 different coins on the market. So NEO is also relatively stable, but of course not as stable and not as well established as Bitcoin. And the last stat that we are going to review is called market dominance, which basically shows you how big a percentage each coin takes in the whole market of cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is the number one currency, so it is still incredible that 45% of all crypto coins at the moment are in Bitcoin. If we compare this stat to NEO, we see that the market dominance of NEO is only 0.18%. Can you see how big the difference is? But Bitcoin used to have the market dominance of 80% and even higher at the beginning of the cryptocurrency market, when there weren't so many coins created. So here we go, guys. Now you know the basic and very basic information of how you can use the stats that are available on Etoro for each crypto coin. Please don't buy crypto coins just blindly, just because you heard about them somewhere or read some news about them, because there are so many of them right now and literally everybody can make a coin. I'm very happy that Etoro has introduced these stats, because I'm sure the more information we have about each coin, the better our decisions will be. I hope that all of your investments will be profitable and you will be able to use some of the information that I just gave you before you decide to invest into your next crypto coin. Thank you very much, guys, for your time and attention today. Bye bye.